Skipping through the answers.
Welcome, everybody, one and all, to a super special episode of the Chance and Penner Show. It's a super patriotic episode where we celebrate the most important holiday of all time,
That's right.
Independence Day. And I won't call it American Independence Day because it's really the only one that matters. And, sure, freedom got trendy after that. There were others. There were other revolutions, but we pretty much started it.
Let me tell you something. Freedom is to America what share is to not having a last name. Okay? You only need to say share. Everybody knows what you're talking about. When you say freedom, people instantly think of Dwight Eisenhower. They instantly think of Iwo Jima. They think of all the great things about this country and none of the negatives. And I'm proud of that, my friends.
I didn't realize there were negatives. Did we?
Well,
I don't know.
I
don't think there's much.
Problems are subjective.
The thing about Cher is that her name is so efficient. It's one syllable.
Yep.
Cher. Moving on.
Next. Who else? Who else do I have to fuss with today that's got a last name? And then it's,
We're ready for this. Did you just grow out that mullet just a couple days ago, or?
Dude, you called it. I've been pushing this bad boy out for 3 days.
I know you've been working on it.
Well, I was in Idaho for a week, so that helped. That really
helps it grow just exponentially
faster.
faster.
Yeah. So I went out and I went to a Cabela's, and I said, hey, what do I need to do in Cabela's to really grow this mullet out and really help the follicle situation going on? And they said, go buy a couple Carhartt shirts. So that's what I did. And I walked out of that, and I've just been rocking this bad boy ever since. It's my, it's the WWF 90s WWF curl is what I call it.
Dude, amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
smooth,
we're going to continue all episode to celebrate the demise of the Redcoats.
That's right.
The Redcoats, the foot sloggers, my personal favorite, the lobster backs, whatever you call them.
That's what I call them.
We're going to celebrate America's greatest enemy of all time. And their demise.
And I'll tell you, they're still our enemy. Don't let them fool you. They always we need your weaponry, but
they're
beyond
like,
that, man,
teamed up in WW2.
Yeah.
We don't even know if that's real or not. They're trying to infiltrate us, get under our skin.
It's a Trojan horse, man. 1 minute they're like, no, we're cool, let's fight wars together, and we'll back you up, you back us up, nobody will mess with us. And on the other hand, they're still rubbing the king in our face. Right? They're still coronating a king.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, I think that they started NATO just so that they could try to pretend they're buddies with us again. They'll be like, hey, we're friends. Let's join up and we'll help each other. It's like, well, nice try, guys.
It's classic toxic cousin syndrome. Okay, it's no boundaries. It's we want our cake and we're gonna eat it too. We're gonna oppress for thousands of years.
Let them eat cake, dude. It's the equivalent.
Just because you got McDonald's in your country doesn't make you a friend of America. Okay, we got to remember that. I mean, it helps absolutely, but it doesn't. It's not a bond that's strident.
But producer Vince, you're looking good too, man.
Hey,
I didn't
thanks,
even see you before the stream.
I kept it hidden, my man.
I thought I was going all out with my get-up, and you guys both kind of went up to me. You even got a flag in the back, dude.
Dude, I got a flag, and then I also got a few little American hidden gnomes in the house, dude. I kind of
gnomes.
Yeah,
they're not American, dude.
They were at the dollar store, dude. They're wearing American flag hats.
If they were at the dollar store, they're American.
Dude, I got this whole get-up at the dollar store.
Vince, your willingness to accept the gnomes as American is the problem, all right? This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Man.
That's how Britain gets in your back pocket again.
Dude, this is a cultural, mixing pot. You come
melting
here.
Pot.
Melting pot.
It was
Thank
close.
You got to mix it before you melt it.
Dude,
Yes,
and I like
dude.
the touch where you got the lays, dude, because we're representing Hawaii also.
It's also
Vince looks like a walking bomb pop with a beard, and I'm here for it, man.
And you're thirsty.
I'm absolutely thirsty.
Are you gonna, Vince? Did you pledge allegiance to that flag before you sat down?
I did, dude. I've been standing here for the last 10 minutes just holding it. I didn't realize that we weren't all holding it.
I couldn't remember the correct way to salute. How many fingers is it supposed to be?
I think
6.
you tucked the thumb. You're sick.
Okay.
You throw
I
it
don't
in
think I
there.
did it right.
You imagine an extra finger because that's for the that's for the fist.
Are you supposed to
Cheers.
use a certain hand for it, left or right?
Oh.
I never thought about that.
If you're left-handed, you're essentially a communist. So you can't do that. It's got to be your right.
You know what?
I
Knowing how to
left-handed it.
salute correctly is exactly what kept me out of enlisting in the military, my dudes.
It wasn't
Well,
those
if we let
locks.
me do it my own way, just that once, then I would have been fine.
Like, look, I've got a brain, okay? I thought this is about democracy. Did we vote on saluting? And then they're like, "Where? You know what? We don't." Those recruiters that come to your high school and try to like get you to go, they're like, "You know what? You can just take the rest of the day off."
We're gonna retract this.
That's right.
You go ahead and have a nice life instead of
Yeah,
turning away.
yeah, sure. I appreciated that. And I said, "Oh, I will do just that. Thank you very much."
So, Dave, I told Eli that I actually am digging this look, and I kind of wish it was real. I kind of wish Eli had these locks, dude.
You guys keep referencing
is.
wishing it was real. I mean, I'm right here in front of you. You know what I'm saying? I might
Do a
be
flip,
in a digital
dude. Show us that it's real.
landscape, hyped up on mushrooms, but I'll tell you, I'm right here, man. I'm real, and I'm gonna. You know what? I feel like with this on, I just feel like I do everything better. You know, I love better. I'm less selfish. I'm more willing to fight. You know, people are more willing to fight me, so it's a good time.
Yeah, it really just instigates whatever situation you're in, just automatically, preemptively.
Yeah, there's no with this on, nobody confuses who you voted for, if you know what I'm saying. So it makes it go, dude.
I like how the locks too kind of blend in with your beard.
Yeah,
There's a little more gray in your beard, but it works for the most part.
It's a good look, and you kind of look like one of the guys from a brewery that I go to. And I kind of like that guy. He kind of looks like a younger Kurt Russell, and that's what I'm giving you here, dude.
I'll take that. I'll take a comparison to Kurt Russell any day, even though it's it's pretty far off. But I gotta say, in anticipation of the show, I have been shadowing a brewery guy for the last 30 days, and I feel like I got a lot down. So you just informed everything. You call me young Kurt Russell. Arguable if I'm better looking than him, but you really just have come here with the compliments. I think, that in the spirit of America, that's great.
It's like the brewery guy is like the dude that is like really funny for like 12 minutes, really hilarious, and then you just kind of wish he went away and
he flips the switch
deeper into conversation.
He's all, that's
cool
$34.
And then at minute 11, he starts going into deep cut like blues references from the 30s, and you're like, dude, I can't hang with you here. I can't. I know Muddy Waters. That's about it.
I gave him 12 minutes, and you're only giving him 10. So I feel like that makes me a more benevolent person.
Well, I think you're more willing to engage in the 30s blues than I am. I just can't stomach it.
I can dabble in it, but I'm going to try to get out as soon as I can.
I appreciate it from afar. You're not going to find me going down a YouTube rabbit hole on 30s blues. I'm sure it's great, but I'm just sitting here trying to eat my chicken nuggets and drink my Hefeweizen sour, and you're over here bugging me. That's all I'm saying.
Hefeweizen sour.
Yeah,
it's not very American, my man.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys. Me and that brewery guy.
Sounds pretty German. I don't know.
We got a new. Well,
hold on, wait. You put ice in your Hefeweizen?
That's right, man. That's right.
I feel like that's so disrespectful. It's American again. You're back.
Well,
hell yeah.
You don't understand. You don't understand brewery culture. Peter is the brewery guy's name. Pete. The locals call him, but he was the one that told me. He goes, ice really activates the yeast and it makes the beer more stout. So,
well, I think there's a difference between brewery culture and brewery guy culture.
Yeah.
You might have been
You're right
on the wrong one.
Brewery guy culture is like the unwritten rules of baseball. It's nobody knows really what they are, but you can just kind of make them up, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, unwritten rules." Also, this is a Tahava peach tea.
Okay.
So I don't want to. I know you guys are beer heads.
You pissed me off.
Oh, so you're going Mexican with it?
Absolutely.
I see what you're doing. You're blending cultures, which is so American.
Dude, think about it. Our biggest cities, our biggest metropolitan cities, they're not English words, they're Spanish words. So you gotta, it's part of the fabric.
Dude, I never thought about that. That's how you really stick it to the British. Is you went, oh, we were your colony. Well, guess what?
Spanish.
Spain came over here, kind of got into the Mexican colonization, and then we took them. So your biggest rival, we're kind of just adopting that culture instead.
Yeah, they have a king too. And we were like, yeah, we don't do kings. What have you guys? I don't care if you call yourself conquistadors.
Sure, you guys can speak Spanish, but come hang out with us.
Sure, your tacos are great, but you're, whatever. Like you're trying to, take over.
We got some people in the chat. The legendary Daner Dane says nothing says Spanish culture like Austin, Texas.
That's right.
Specifically.
That's right.
Well, there was kind of a bummer that I wanted to. There was something.
Dane, you missed Dallas, by the way. I would have gone with Dallas. That one would have been. Just saying for next time.
Don't call out our viewers, man.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, we've been having fun so far, but there is a more serious issue that I wanted to talk about on this show. With 4th of July coming up, it's kind of reopened some wounds for me, and I had to, it got me thinking. And there's something that's kind of a bummer. I've been grappling with this for a long time. My wife doesn't like peanut butter. And I don't usually like to broadcast that. It's not something I'm, proud of. That, my wife, essentially that makes her un-American, I feel like. My marriage is okay so far. I kind of just don't talk about it that much. If I'm making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I kind of just, I kind of just go about my business. But, I really do feel like that was part of the Red Scare. Was like, that's how they judged people that weren't American, is like, do you like peanut butter? And I think this has been verified too. They actually sent operatives out, people that they suspected of communism, and they would kind of just creep up behind them and kind of whisper a conversation next to them, like, oh, real man, I could really go for some ants on a log right about now. And then they just saw how they reacted to it. If they were like, oh man, that sounds so good, they're good. But if there was hesitation there, you probably made a list. So I don't know. What do you guys have any words of wisdom about that?
I for one think we should bring that back. I think it should be a Passover situation where you have to smear Jiffy on top, above your front door, so that we know you're an American, and the angel of death passes you by. But I think personally, that sounds like a Canadian to me. And so I think, if you don't have peanut butter smeared on, on your house, you get shipped up to Winnipeg, dude. Like, we need to stop messing around with all these, rules, regulations, rights, right?
Maybe she's a closet Canadian, dude. I don't know.
I don't know if we do away with rights.
I think she's rubbing it in your face that she's a Canadian. What's her syrup ratio when she goes to eat waffles, French toast, what have you? What's her syrup ratio to actual pastry?
I came home with some gravy. I wonder if I should put it on these fries.
I see where you're going with this. And you're right.
Just kind of see what happens from there,
Yeah,
and
like
I'll act ignorant about it. I'll be like, oh, it was just an idea. It seemed like it would be good.
Like, you just see her pupils start dilating. She just like is trying to contain herself like she's Johnny Five,
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe I'll do that.
That is, and she didn't have like an allergy to peanuts. It's just a taste thing.
No, dude, I wish that was could be a valid excuse, but it's not.
I mean, usually this is where I say to each their own, but not here. Not now. That's crazy. And
to
I
each
know
their
you're
own.
right. So I'm going to say something.
To each their own, unless it infringes on me, on my rights.
Yeah.
And when you don't like peanut butter, that's infringing on my rights, because that makes me so upset that I get emotional about it, and then that's not good for anybody.
Well, and you're justified, and you know that, so you have the confidence that comes with that.
I'm on the moral high ground. I have that, but
I have the moral high ground. Oh yeah, that's a meme we can make. Like Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Peachtree says, is pineapple on pizza American? Okay, now we're getting into deep cuts here.
I'm going to say yes, because it's a rebellious act in nature. So I'm going to say yes.
I like that. I like that stance.
Now let me do it with my mic on to the podcast.
Almond butter is keeping peanut butter in check, just making sure peanut butter keeps its quality up.
Well, it's almond butter letting peanut butter know you're not you don't feel like you're too big to fail. Peanut butter.
Watch yourself, because if you stumble, I'll be right here.
Yeah.
And the hipsters will get it first, and then everyone else will follow.
Yeah. So I mean, Vince, I wouldn't hold that against her. I think that's
okay.
And probably more healthy. So I see. To me, the problem with Dave's wife is that she's ruling out butter completely. It's the butter aspect of it And I don't want, maybe she likes putting butter or like real actual butter on bread. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking of the legume family of spreads that you put on bread or mix with jelly, and it makes a delicious, picnic lunch. So she's wrong. She's in the wrong and you're in the right is what I'm saying.
I was muted whenever I asked the question in the pod, but I'm unmuted now. We're good. Paige ran in here. She didn't run in here to call me out for saying she's not American. She's just a producer's producer and let me know that I muted myself. So.
Oh, she's instead of dealing with your slings and arrows you're throwing at her, she's helping the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I respect, dude.
Which makes me want to throw a little more at her.
I'd say give her a break from the almond butter thing, just from this. Daner Dane's got a good point too. He says if Hawaiian is American, which it is.
But see, here's my thing with pineapple pizza, right? Everybody wants to make a stand. That's the hill they want to die on, which is pineapple on pizza. Like, that's disgusting. People put little bait fish on pizza and eat it and think it's the best thing in the world. So in that world, like, I would love to hear a sardine eater go after a pineapple eater. Ooh. Because I would have some words for them and be like, well, let's poke some holes in your hypocrisy here.
I feel like sardines are so so weird that it comes full circle and they're back to being cool. Because for so long it was like anchovies on pizza, but now it's like such a thing that I'm like, I kind of do want anchovies.
So if everybody jumped off a cliff with their anchovy pizza, would you do it too? Would
Dave's
you guys
right
do it too,
behind
or would
him,
you
dude.
say no? This is still disgusting.
I recently had anchovies on pizza, and it was not good at all, dude. They didn't debone them, and it was literally the saltiest thing. It's saltier than salt.
You got to debone.
You got to debone things I'm eating. If you put it on a pizza, I'm just going to eat it. I'm not going to look for bones.
Hey, Vince, you know why they put so much salt in those sardines? Because they taste like ass.
Dude,
that's
I
why.
wanted to taste the ass, dude.
Yeah.
Allow me to judge. Ass. Yeah.
They're trying to cover up that hint of mercury that you taste when you first put it in your mouth.
Dude.
Hey, guys. So as you know, I went to Idaho a couple weeks ago. I guess it was last week, and we recorded a show from out there, which was really cool. But along the way, it was my birthday weekend, so I told my wife, I was like, let's take a road trip. I'm a fan of road trips. I want to emulate Clark Griswold and really do a road trip over 2 days. So it wasn't a real road trip, but so we stop in Zion National Park, and Vince, I know you've been there. Dave, I don't know if you've been to Zion, but the way it works,
I have.
It's pretty awesome, and it's you have to take a shuttle. You have to park, and then you have to shuttle into the park itself. And so we get on a shuttle to go to one of the trails to go hike to the place where the restaurant that served food. But we're
You mean the parking lot?
We get on it's the lodge, bro.
Oh,
I thought you'd been there, dude.
Dude, well, I didn't think you would even venture that far into the park, dude.
Yeah, we got deep into the park. I don't know what that means. I think that's supposed to be backhanded, but
it was backhanded.
I'm gonna just cruise right through it. So we went there and we get on the shuttle, and there's this dude that's the shuttle driver, and you can tell he's been at it for a while. He's a vet of the shuttle driving game, and by the way he's talking and just like
shuttle driving
game, like like a career, like he's been doing this probably since the 1980s. His skin's leathery. He needs a smoke break. So we get on, and there's somebody else on the shuttle. It's the only other person on the shuttle besides us. And you can tell it's like a coworker because he's talking to her in a way that has vernacular that's like, oh, you know what I'm talking about. And the person's like, yeah. But we get on, and dude is like super aggressive. He doesn't acknowledge us. He's telling the story. And we got, and I like literally had to write it down in my notes because I was like, this is crazy and I have to talk about this. But he starts out, and as we're getting in, doesn't say anything else, doesn't look at us. He goes, yeah, well, Tina and I are going to have a come to Jesus meeting because she's not following protocol. I'm lapping her, for God's sake. She's dead to me. So I'm like, whoa, what is going on? What are they drinking up here in Utah that this lady's dead to him? So he stops and he finally acknowledges that we're there, or he sees that we're there, and he grabs the PA, and his whole cadence switches, and he goes, all right, come on in, folks, make yourself at home. I would ask for better weather, but then I'd be questioning God, and Lord knows I don't need another reason as of late. We're all so lucky to be enjoying his pottery wheel of creation. Click. And then, like, without missing a beat, without taking a breath, he goes like back into the story, or back to like what he's saying about like his problem with his coworkers who are running the other shuttle buses. And he's like, what's up with Pete? All right, he's waiting until his whole cab is full. What a colossal asshole. Does his mommy iron his shirts for him too? I hope they fire his ass and send him back to the prairie. So then, like, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my wife because I'm thinking, what does that mean? Like, I hope they send him back to the prairie. Is he from the prairie? Does he like? Is that like some weird gulag they have for
send him
drivers?
to the prairie?
No, not the. It's like the boo box and hook.
Please.
Like, no, not
That's the worst thing you
prairie.
can say in Utah, dude.
And then I just imagine some poor kid that's probably doing this like on summer break from college, and he's just in an open prairie with all of these gophers around him, and I'm just like, this is insane. So he just openly starts talking crap on this other guy, and then like with like nothing happened, goes back to us and is like, on the right, folks, we're lucky enough to see a mama doe and her fawn drinking from the Virgin River. It's called the Virgin River because Spanish colonizers were never able to penetrate her rich mineral walls. And we're at that point, like, I'm looking at my wife, dude, and because we're the only two people on this shuttle, she won't look at me because she knows that I'm gonna like either start laughing or she's gonna start laughing, and it's gonna be obvious. And at this point, I'm like, is this guy doing a ruse? Is there like, does he have like a camera hidden and he's putting this up on TikTok or something and getting the follows? Also, like, I thought that the Spanish colonizers thing, Dave, was a nice callback to what you were saying before about the Spanish in California. So.
Yeah. I missed the detail where you're saying that you guys were the only ones on the shuttle.
Yeah.
So funny.
We're the only ones on the shuttle with the exception of this poor other coworker that was like, you know, when people are talking at other people and they're being cordial, but really they're like, yeah, okay. Uh-huh. And like
You
you're
can
trying to
feel
just
it.
like, let me be in peace. So anyway.
So if these two weren't here, I'd beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, exactly. Or like this guy's a serial killer, right? And the only thing keeping him from just murdering this poor lady is us. So then like finally he goes like back to the coworker, and this is like the last convo he had before he dropped us off at our last stop, and he goes, the higher ups at the bus gate, which I thought was hilarious. Like the higher ups, like the bus gate is the pinnacle of the corporate ladder in the national park shuttle bus driver like world. Like you want to ascend to the the gate, but
They're the elites of the park.
So the higher ups at the bus gate are really phoning it the hell in. Bunch of hokels just burning their clock and collecting checks. They're not committed to the national park grind. Everyone thinks it's farts and rainbows up here. It's not. It's hard work. And I'm just like, okay, that one was for me. He said that one for me. Now he's like actively trying to make me laugh. But the last thing, what?
I feel like if I was there, like I would just be writing this down the entire time. Or
I mean,
maybe just recording the entire thing.
I basically was. I got off the shuttle and instantly just started typing into my phone because I was like, I'm not going to remember this stuff. It's so weird and like just offsetting the contrast to who he was trying to portray himself as to the person that like he was. Because I feel like we got to look behind closed doors on this guy. All right, I'll wrap it up. This is the last part.
Hold on, wait, before you go. It's kind of weird that you guys are the only ones on there, and he's split personality. Like he has to do his job, so he's talking into it as if like they're recording and there's like a quota. And then whenever he shuts it off, he's all these fucking people. Like he's just looking at you like, what?
Bro, we can hear you. We're right here.
But my thing is like, it's almost like Cinderella comes backstage from Disneyland and starts smoking a cigarette in the middle of Main Street, right? It's like you've already broken the veneer that you're a kind dude. Like you're obviously not a nice person. So why don't you just keep telling your story, and that will, we'll appreciate that more than you trying to be fake nice on the PA, as if the PA held some kind of power. But he goes, all right, this is the last stop. Enjoy your time in Zion National Park, and remember to leave Zion better than when you found it. It's up to us to maintain this glorious landscape and preserve it for generations. Get out now. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm laughing because it's so absurd, and this is such a like Simpsons character now that we're at, where he's like over the top Ned Flanders. And then he goes back one last time to his coworker, and this is the last thing that I hear him say to this lady, non sequitur, from the last time he's talking about the higher ups and all that. He goes, to make things worse, my son Mike is coming into town with his second wife. You heard that right, the second. I hate this one too. And then like I was off the bus, but man, what a harrowing. It made me want to go back to Zion, because I'm like, dude, this is like, if this is the real underbelly, and this is the kind of temperament you're going to deal with people from this part of Utah, I guess.
He really, how much time did it take for him to hone that like spiel? It seemed like he had it memorized, just every.
Yeah, it did seem
Maybe that's
that
how
way.
maybe he gets tons of tips from those jokes.
Or maybe he's spitting game, dude, and he's just like letting that lady know. Like maybe it wasn't his coworker,
yeah.
and he's like, it's a tourist, and she's like, "So tell me about shuttle driving." He's like, "Let me tell you something. All right, this person over here is an asshole, and they don't know how to drive."
So I'll tell you about shuttle driving.
He's, "I'll tell you, but you're gonna have to shut up the entire time and act uncomfortable." But yeah, it was quite the experience. So I'm sorry you guys missed it.
What did you think?
Yeah.
I have to ask. What did you think of Zion? I don't think we really talked about it.
It was dope, dude.
This is
It
the
was
4th of July
incredible.
episode, dude.
I
That's one of the
wanna go
best
spend more
places.
time there. They got some nice little resorts there at the basin that I'd love to stay at and just like spend a few days there, man.
It was
It's
super
cool.
pretty when I was there, like 4 or 5 years ago or something. Or
Okay. Yeah, Eli, your wife's family goes to Yosemite all the time. I've been with you guys
Yeah.
a few times, and I think I've been telling. Well, you actually purchased a photo of mine from Zion, the Narrows. Did you guys even?
Yeah,
get
the naked lady.
Yeah, we call her the Narrows.
Yeah.
Did you guys go over? Well, you had your baby, so you couldn't really do any of the big hikes, huh? You see waterfalls?
No, and it was it's a rough nap situation for all of
Yeah.
us. So we didn't, but we spent about 4 hours there, which was cool,
Okay.
and it was just enough to like make me want to go back,
Nice.
and it was cool.
Did you guys do the tunnel? Like, did you guys go up and around?
Dude, we didn't know. We went like 6 stops in, and then got off on one of the stops coming back, and we went to the grotto. I don't know if you're familiar with the lingo. But,
I am actually. I've been there a
oh,
lot.
the grotto.
The grotto.
the grotto. The grotto.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
So just in the theme of America, it's I thought you guys appreciate that story from American aggression and also like the American landscape, which is awesome. Got to see a lot of that last week, so that was cool.
Nice. That's good, man. I've been wanting to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Just for a tease at the end too. We're gonna be hanging out for a bit longer, but at the end of the show, I have put together, in the spirit of America, the top 13 most annoying things about Britain that I'm excited to talk about.
Dude, heck yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to hear. I hope they line up with my complaints. My list of complaints. Dave and I are going to go see Pee-wee's Big Adventure at the Hollywood
Yes.
Cemetery tomorrow.
Oh, what?
stoked.
Dude,
I think Callie's pretty stoked.
I took Paige to go see it at our Hollywood theater in Portland. And she said she's seen the movie before, but actually seeing it with a group of people that were super excited to be there, it turned from being a movie that she would never watch to me to her coming home and instantly wanting to watch it again. And I think she's watched it a few times since. She loves it, dude.
Yeah, it's a genius movie.
Well,
It's so
Eli's
fun.
kid, I know your child watches it, like asks to watch Pee-wee every day. So I'm just gonna I want to like watch her the entire time to see like how she reacts to seeing
Yeah, I
Pee-wee
want to see what she
Dude,
laughs
on
at.
a big screen.
The embers have cooled a little bit on Pee-wee, but every day still routine. She'll get in the car and go, "Can I go home and watch Pee-wee and eat a snack?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." and I always
Pee-wee
ask,
is synonymous with snack.
yeah, telling you, man. But I always ask her, I'm like, "You want to watch Pee-wee's bike or you want to watch Pee-wee's like circus?" And she goes, she'll sit there and she'll go, I want to watch Pee-wee's circus. I'm like, all right, less not as good,
Wow.
but I appreciate it.
But that's a nuanced Big Top Pee-wee. That's
Yeah.
like the little lesser known cousin sequel to Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Well, and you have to
It
be a
has
real.
some good. It has some good stuff in there.
It does. You have to be a real Pee-wee deep cuts Pee-wee person to like that movie. So.
Yeah, I don't think we tried putting it on, and Paige got about 10 minutes in and was done, dude. I was
Like,
like,
the
no, I
beginning's
promise.
amazing.
Yeah, the
because
beginning's really the best part.
It's the opposite of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Is like everyone loves Pee-wee. Big Top Pee-wee's like everyone hates Pee-wee.
Dude,
Just,
it's such a
like, shit on
curveball.
him the whole time.
Dave and I think, could teach a class on all of the different Pee-wee movies and how they like relate to the psychology of going through life. And like, you have like, just really quick. I know this wasn't on the menu, but we've talked about how like Pee-wee's Playhouse is like Pee-wee's adolescence. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is like Pee-wee going off to college. Pee-wee's
he's like horny the whole time. He really wants.
He's
a
so
girl,
horny in that
like-
movie, dude. It's so strange.
Yeah.
It's off-putting, dude.
There's that makeout scene for like 10 minutes long, dude, for no reason.
dude, he's like, yeah, it's great. But and then the last one, which was also really great in its own way, is like late stages Pee Wee. It's like Pee Wee at the end of life.
It's like on his decline, and he has to come to terms with like, I don't know, getting older and
That's the Netflix one, right?
Pee Wee's Big Holiday. That's on Netflix. Produced by Judd Apatow.
So I have a question.
The only reason it happened is probably because of him.
You guys are big Pee Wee guys. What is that movie all about, dude? It's such a deviation. It negates the whole first movie. He's talking about he's never left his city and like he's never done anything at all. And then I'm just sitting there thinking like, okay, well, I love this first movie. This one starts and goes as if you know the character, but you have no idea of like his history at all. Does that make sense?
Well, in the class we talk about that very thing.
Okay,
this is like week 6, but we can.
It's
talk
actually
about it.
deeper than you understand, Vince, because it's actually him not accepting that's the prevailing theory, that he's not accepting that past happened, and he's trying to forestall his old age by not accepting it and pretending that he is still young and he hasn't had these experiences yet.
Yeah, and he's
also kind of attracted to that guy, right?
Listen, I'll say this. I really do like. We're obviously like kind of joking around, but I do think those movies, because they're all written by Paul Rubens, I think all those movies are him dealing with something in a certain way, and I don't think you're far off. Like I think this is my own opinion, so I don't want to put words in
I love that your voice got like super serious too.
I know,
you're
man.
all listen, and you like
serious,
take off
dude.
the wig.
Everybody,
I'm a professor of Pee Wee and science, so
yeah, I think it's open to interpretation, dude.
yeah, and that's what's great about him. But I think and interpretation to what, but I think overall it's kind of obvious to see like he's working stuff out. It's something personal to him. At least that's the way it seems to me. I think that's the only way those movies hit on the level that they do. And Big Holidays, nothing touches Pee-wee's Big Adventure, because you had a perfect storm of things for that movie.
Yeah, original Tim Burton, original Danny Elfman, just so many things.
Phil Hartman co-wrote it.
Yeah.
Really?
And what's my favorite part about the Pee-wee character is like has always been the Pee-wee character, a little less in Playhouse, but the fact that he can like snaps back and forth between like being a naive little child and like whimsical child, and then being like if someone says something that makes him mad, just snapping into like being really serious adult, like
he's a hard ass out of nowhere, and it doesn't fit the character at all. Dude.
Well, yeah, like
my favorite though.
Dude, even in Playhouse though, he does snap back and forth, and he's like a horn dog in that too. It's really funny. Yeah. There's a lot of comedy. There's a lot of adult humor in that Playhouse show, and the cool thing about that is like they basically gave him money after he did the Roxy show, and he went and hired like set designers and costumers and everything were like local punk artists in LA. So that's why it has like that distinct look, and it holds up. Like that was the thing that got Callie to like Pee Wee. She started with Playhouse and she really liked it, and it's a kid's show, so it makes sense. And
also his Broadway show too was super awesome. I loved it.
I didn't know he had a Broadway show.
Anyway, we could keep talking about Pee Wee.
I regret not going to that, but yeah. And keeping on in the theme of America, maybe before we get to the big British list of letdowns or whatever you're calling it, Dave. But have you guys noticed that like tipping is, and I've seen other people talk about it, so this isn't an original thing, but tipping is like getting out of hand in this country, where everything you go do is you have to go and you have to give them a tip. And it's not so much people asking for tip, because I don't decry anybody for asking, trying to get more money. But the problem is everybody, when like you're going to pay, the people working there always hand off the tip in the most uncomfortable way possible, which is usually like, okay, it's going to ask you a question, and then you put in your card, and then you pay. And it's never like, which means like, it's translation like, do you want to give me a tip? And I just wish I wish they would say, hey, before it's going to ask if you want to give me a tip, feel free to say no. But, if
that's
I provide
the good way of doing it.
Tip me.
They're like, it's going to ask you a question. You just need to input $5. It's I don't know why I don't know why it says that. So stupid, right?
Yeah.
Dude, my favorite move.
Yeah,
my favorite move is, it's going to ask you a question, and then they turn away, and then they instantly do this and come back to you, like right as they know that you're about to type it in. So then you're like, oh, okay, she's not looking. And then you go to the custom because you're not paying a fucking 20%, 25
There's like an
or 30.
awkward, yeah, it's like trying to be, it's like
Dude.
trying to give you an option of being like, okay, well, really, you don't have to. I'm not going to look, but then...
Dude, they whip it back.
But really what it is, like, that's too nice. Like, what it is a hostage negotiation. You know, we're like, you
It's
can
a
turn around-
respectful hostage negotiation.
Yeah, it's civil. So, okay, that's fine. You're giving me the option. You're not saying, no, you're going to tip me. Like, you know, some places you go, they're like, oh, don't worry about it. We added the tip on. We're telling you because see, even that is
that
more
pisses
like
me off
respectful
too, dude.
in my opinion.
No.
We added the tip on. We're just right out there. We added the tip on. So you don't have to, we're going to give you the courtesy of telling you that so you don't add more tip to what we already decided is an appropriate tip.
And
for
what
our
is the percentage that they decide, dude? I don't like that. What if the lady is a complete...
What I'm saying is it's on Front Street, though. A
But
little
it's
bit
not,
more
though.
than this machine's going to ask you a question. That question could be anything. It's like, you know, you pay and it's like, this thing's going to ask you a question. It's like, do you accept Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior? Like
You
these
push
really,
custom, dude, and you type in your own religious figure.
What if it was like a Russian roulette of questions that just pop up and you have to...
Dude, that's a better idea. Give somebody like a fake gun and play Russian roulette. If it goes off, I pay you a tip. If not, I would engage in that, you know?
Dude,
I owe you, yeah, you're getting a no tip, you're getting a $2 tip, or you're getting a $10 tip. It's gonna, let's see what happens.
Let's roll for it, baby. Let's see
Well,
what happens.
Yeah, I mean, in this, that fits too because in the spirit of comparing America to Europe too, not to flaunt going in Europe, in going there in you guys' faces again.
Oh, you went in Europe?
I went to Europe. There's what's funny there is like people don't tip. Like everything's just sort of included in the restaurant. Obviously, way different than America. But it was nice there because of everything you're talking about, where they don't do all that. So there's no like song and dance about like if you're gonna tip or not. Ever like they don't care, which is nice. And it's like everything is so it's like transactions were like way faster. Like there was this one time where it was like, it was just one purchase that was like $28, and they're like, oh, just like they just like gave me the thing where like just put $28 in, and then they like literally walked away. I'm like, this is so efficient, and you know, I thought about just not paying them to teach them a lesson about trusting humanity, but I don't know, that seemed a little depressing.
You thought they would have learned with Lafayette, dude. You know, like, well, yeah, we're totally gonna come help you fight your revolution. Yeah, we'll be over there in an hour.
Yeah. Peachtree says Euro drop sounds like some sick DJ beats.
Euro drop.
It's hard style for sure, dude.
But I respected the efficiency with that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, socialism is efficient. I'll give it that.
I'm still kind of hung up on that the dude wearing a America hat is fine with someone automatically telling him what he's tipping.
I'm not saying I'm fine with it. What I'm saying, number one, if you go to a restaurant that adds a tip in, you're paying more for your food, right? It's a more expensive meal, right?
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is, they let you know we're gonna add the. Don't even think that you have a freedom of choice.
But that's for like
I would rather know
groups.
that coming in because
You
then I
mean
can go.
for
Oh, you're
groups,
gonna,
right?
I agree that I'd rather know that, but also I'd rather give my own tip also.
And you guys are both misunderstanding the guy with the America hat. Okay, I'm not saying that I actively want them to do that. I'm
You
saying,
kind of said
You just
it,
said
dude.
socialism was efficient.
I
so
dude,
I
Dave,
don't know.
that's where
I
I'm
don't know
at
what to
right now.
trust anymore.
He's all, oh, Europe is so dumb. Yeah, you can tell me exactly what I'm going to give you for a tip because I'm American. No, dude. Also, hold on. I have so many questions.
I didn't track that at all.
I'm saying you're a commie, dude. You don't even like peanut butter. All right, I'm getting off on a tangent. Okay, so are you talking about whenever you're in a group of 8+, they say the tip is going to be included? Because that's justified. That's
Or when
normalized.
you go to Vegas or an Asian restaurant.
No, dude, they're getting
Yeah.
me. That's never happened to me.
You've never, dude. Okay, I don't think that.
For like
but-
a
Well,
date,
this
like
thing
two
It
people.
happens to me more times than I would.
Yeah,
would
LA
like.
is king of that, dude.
Dude,
Like,
that's why I moved.
I'm not talking about Quiznos, okay? Quiznos, you still have freedom of choice there, all right? I'm talking about like.
Well, I
Quiznos
only eat at
Nobu,
Quiznos.
dude.
Fashion freedom.
I'm talking about Nobu, okay? I roll up with Nobu with these locks. They're like, we're gonna let you.
When they see that, they're gonna be like, "There's an automatic 30%."
Oh, dude, that's what it's the lock lock.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
You shake it.
So I'm saying like,
dude, that's an LA thing.
They're
I have
both
not
BS,
experienced.
And I
saying
kind of
this
get
is
it because
courtesy.
there's a lot of people that don't tip. There's a lot of dicks that just will choose not to tip, so they're like, "We can't risk that. We're just gonna do a certain amount."
So you're just gonna
But,
lock it in?
You know,
dude, wear a
It's
funny
still
hat,
lame.
mix it up, add some performance art into it. People will tip you. It's a generous country. People want to tip. They don't want to be told what to tip, but they want to tip.
Do you guys know the history of tipping? Where it came from?
No.
do you, Vince?
I know where
Sounds
it
like
came
you
from.
have something that you're trying to queue up.
Dude, so there's it sounds like that was a good cue, but it wasn't meant to be. There's a podcast that's talking about the history of executioners. And in the podcast, I learned that tipping actually came from executioners, and you used to have to tip, not have to. You used to want to tip your executioner because the more money you gave him, the more you sweetened the deal, the sharper the cut, dude. So if you didn't tip him, he might take a few
Whoa.
hacks at you before he finishes it.
I mean, it's really
That
the
blew my
same
mind.
concept as a barber. I tip my barber very well because I'm like, you're handling my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like you're handling the lock. Dude.
Well, that one makes sense. I got a buzz.
And
cut.
again, I'm not against. I don't mind tipping if like I get it, but I just it's just weird. It feels like it's pervasive. It's like I don't want to go in a shoe store. And they're like, oh, did you appreciate my service? I'm like, well, yeah,
Dude.
but I'll verbally tell you that. You know what I mean? Well, it's just gonna ask you a question. Just answer it when.
Yeah.
when you're
It does.
convenient.
It does kind of call into question where some places we tip just a lot, and it's just a part of society, and people don't even think about it. But then the other 90%, we would never tip, and we would never even consider
No,
tipping,
dude.
even if someone was really cool.
Yeah, but that's what the line is being pushed back is what I'm saying. The lines of tip are and have a tip jar out, like cool.
Yeah,
but
dude.
I don't know. It feels very it feels weird. It feels like we're in the middle of like I'm trying to defuse a bomb and it's gonna ask me a question. I'm like, well, a question implies there's a right and wrong answer here, so it's a mob tactic, is what I'm saying.
I'm with you, and I think we should go back to a cash culture, dude. Whenever you have cash, there is never that awkwardness of like, oh, if you want to answer this question, like you just had a jar there, you threw it in there if you were a good guy. If not, like there was no awkwardness to it.
It is funny that they always say it's going to ask you a question.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
like they don't know what the question
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
They're like-
exactly.
I've never
They're like,
seen the
"Oh,
screen. I
It
don't know.
usually asks a question. It's kind of like an oracle type situation. I don't know. Just
Also,
oh,
assume
it
I
asked
can,
a tip. Oh.
also assume I can read. Why do you need to give me a warning that it's going to ask me a question at all? Like now you're asking me for a tip and insulting my intelligence. That's a problem.
Probably
you
because
know?
there are people that don't get how it works and they just stand there and then they have to be like, oh, I don't know.
Dude, it's mob. It's typical John Gotti stuff. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable till you pay me, dude. Respect, whatever.
That's how I run my life.
All right. Well, are we 53 minutes in, Vince? Is that accurate?
If you take away the 10 minutes for starting soon, we are at 44 minutes
Oh, okay.
and 9 seconds.
Cool. All right. We got some time then.
We got some time.
Thanks, Bomb Pop, Elton John, Vince.
I'm going to go ahead and add a 30% tip to your
Just
charge.
have it ask
and,
me. Just ask me a question.
dude. Well, one more thing on tipping. Do you guys appreciate when the tip has the 00? Because I always mess up and I'll put like $2 and then I'll click that 00 and it changes the 2 to 200. And then I'm like, oh,
2,000.
yeah. Have you guys done that, or is that just me? Because I'm at a coffee shop and I'm not about to drop $200 on a tip at a Dutch Bros.
Why would you not?
Who am I, LeBron
on, dude.
James?
Dude,
Yeah,
with those
come
curls,
on.
I'm not saying would you tip $200. I'm saying, do you appreciate the 00? Because
I've
it
never
kind of
done
Double
messes you up.
zero is there to trick you. I don't know.
It's there to
I
trick
can
me.
honestly say I've never noticed ever 00s when it comes to like putting in.
That's
I
because
do
you're
go slow
all
on the
automatic.
pin pad
dude.
though, dude. When I'm dealing with money, I go slow on the pin pad. I
Do
don't
you?
rocket
Okay.
fire it.
I rocket
It's not
fire.
like I'm working. You know?
I rocket
Yeah,
pop,
it's-
rocket fire.
You got to sober up for those that 7 seconds that you're dealing with the pin pad.
Totally.
dude.
Okay.
Dave, you had you have a list of or airing of grievances for the Brits, right?
Yeah, Peachtree says you're at my coffee shop, so I would appreciate an extra $200, please.
I actually name dropped Dutch Bros in that, and it specifically happens at Dutch Bros. and I'm in the car, and my drink's $3.50, and my tip is $200.
Complain to one of the brothers, dude. Just write him a letter.
They're going Dutch, dude.
Dear
They don't
Gary
even pay.
Dutch.
Dear Dutch brothers, you don't know me, and I know you're Dutch, so you're not here, but hear me out.
I know you're Dutch,
Get
but
rid of the
have you
double
ever
zero.
heard of double zeros instead of single? Okay. Who am I, LeBron James?
All right, so I put something together here. Vince, are you capable of playing any music? Oh, we can't play.
No, unfortunately, I can't
anything,
play it because then you guys won't hear it. I can play music for the stream, but you guys can't hear it.
Okay, we'll pretend there's music. Okay, so I put something together here. This is my 13 most annoying things about the British in honor of today. Salute the flag. There were 13 original colonies. So sing it with me. 13 original colonies. You got to sing it.
Sorry.
So that's...
I thought we were going for round 2, dude.
I was burping as you started singing, so I was just holding it. I was like,
Are there verses to it? Is there more to it? 'Cause that's
Paige
all I
is
know.
screaming it from the other room right now, so I think there are some verses.
Thank you,
Either that or
Paige.
she's hearing voices again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way, that's cool.
If you missed that reference, go back and watch last week's show.
All right, here we go. So, the 13 most annoying things about the Brits. Number
This is-
1.
This is the Travel Channel show I wish would have aired, but it never did when I was a kid. The 13 most annoying things about...
Dude, the Brits would be in an uproar. What he say? 13?
All right, number 1. T. Enough said. Number 2. Why are the roads so small? And don't say because they're old, because that's not an excuse. Number 3. Why do they drive on the wrong side of the road? That's an easy one. Done. Number 4. Why do they call it tomato ketchup when there's no other kind of ketchup?
Can I interject here?
Yeah.
It's not just that it's tomato ketchup, it's tomato ketchup.
tomato.
You did say
How
it
do they
very
say ketchup?
American.
Is it
Ketchup.
ketchup?
I mean, I'm
Ketchup.
sure it's
Ketchup?
I've never been there, but I imagine it's ketchup.
It's like,
It's-
maybe it's catsup.
It's as cunty as you can, dude.
Maybe
Ketchup.
that's where the spelling comes from.
I always wondered.
Number
I tried
5.
the C word, sorry.
They don't really celebrate Halloween, the second best holiday of all time. And like, what even is Guy Fawkes Day? I don't even know what that is. Does anyone even know what that is?
That's
It's
the-
a guy hanging out with a fox.
I don't know, dude.
Is it literal?
I don't think they even know what it is.
Hold on, Dave. What's your first favorite holiday? It better be 4th of July, baby.
That's what I said earlier. I was trying to set it up.
Oh, okay.
That's a callback.
I just
callback.
caught up, dude.
I hope
that was
I
a
said it.
callback?
I don't
I'm
know.
a
I meant
catch-up.
to.
A catch-up.
Obviously, America is number 1, so the Independence Day of
Right.
America is number 1. Number 6. Here's another callback. What did ice do to hurt you, Britain? Everyone knows that cold drinks are superior to warm drinks or lukewarm drinks.
Oh, yeah.
So stop looking at me weird when I ask for ice in my wine, okay?
Or Hefeweizen.
Or my Hefeweizen, maybe.
I got
just
that
like
callback, dude.
Number 7. The British called the Boston Massacre a unhappy disturbance. Well, I call Prince Henry an unhappy disturbance. So Britain, come get your boy, take him home, put him to bed, and you can keep Meghan too. Number 8. They eat baked beans for breakfast and they put it on toast. I don't do that, so that makes it weird. Okay?
Never had
I mean, cut back to the conversation about pineapple on pizza, and here we
Yeah,
are talking.
exactly.
That's the most rank shit I've ever
Exactly.
heard of.
Why even talk about pineapple on pizza when we can talk about beans on toast when it's like 8 a.m., dude?
Has anybody told the Brits you don't need to do that anymore? It's not the 1400s. You don't have,
We have
to
more
ration
options
beans.
than beans.
You don't have to ration beans in a barrel in the back outside of your cottage and eat on your bread, dude. It's not a delicacy.
It's pretty wild, dude.
These
I
people
heard
need
it.
Arby's in a way that most countries need God, dude.
All right, so here we go. We're getting to the heart of it. That was 8.
Okay.
So I feel like,
Do you have more food-related stuff?
there's a lot of food-related things.
Okay.
That's probably the number 1. There's a couple more. Here we go. Number 9. They don't. We touched on this too. They don't shut up about the monarchy. And look, I'm sure that the queen was a fine lady, but she's gone. Okay, we need to get over it. And this kind of behavior is exactly why they lost.
Dang.
I mean, that and walking in a straight line when you're in the middle of a war, dude, wearing red in a landscape that's green and brown. It's like,
and announcing that you're coming by beating a drum and
yeah, and
so we know you're coming from miles out, dude.
It's pretty wild to put your drummers and the guys holding the flag directly in front, dude.
Yeah, they're
like start drumming after you kill everyone and you're stomping on through.
I've been saying it for years, man. Tradition will get you killed. You gotta evolve. Sorry. Also,
right,
really quick, not just that it's this queen's gone. Which queen? There's been so many queens that have done some terrible shit that it's like, where do we go back to? That's the problem.
It's like, okay, we got away from the queens and kings mostly kings doing terrible shit. But like, so why are we still doing the monarchy? Why? And now we're just kind of, they don't really do anything heinous. They just hang out. But why are we funding them to just hang out? I mean, I'm not funding them because I'm not British, but they're just hanging out, dude. Living lavishly, hanging out with dogs and stuff, which is fine. But,
Yeah, it's the whole thing, dude. It's like, there's so many. That's why I said this country needs an Arby's, dude. It's, some horsey sauce and some Arby's sauce will really do these Brits good. And it'll teach them there's more to life than worrying about kings and queens, man. Get up in the trees and start fighting back. That's what I say.
Start backstabbing people. That's how you win a war.
Go to the French. Be like, hey, we'll help you. Okay, we'll help you guys if you ever need help. Come help us though. And then after they help you and go home, don't honor what you said, dude. It's easy.
Don't have honor. You're not going to win a war having honor. Okay.
The British had honor, and where did that leave them? All right, they don't even have India anymore.
All right, here we go. Number 10. Here's another sort of food-related one for Vince. Their Coke is made with real sugar. Like, why would I want that when I can have perfectly good Coke with high fructose corn syrup?
Ooh, yeah. I might be with the Brits on this one. Is it like Mexican Coke?
Are you un-American, Vince?
Well, hold on, because I think Mexican Coke, although the name infers
Mexican Coke is fine
dude.
Because it's close to us.
This guy thought Pozole. This guy thought Pozole was, the name
Pozole?
of the album.
Pozole, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's the widest. High fructose corn syrup is horrible and cheap, but
dude,
it's American, dude.
That's the one thing. If they actually have real sugar Coke, dude, I might move there. I'll look past the beans on toast.
Back in it, then we're really talking.
That's the American drink.
That'll be
number 11.
You can get those in Riverside.
Yeah. We're getting towards the end, guys. Here's another one for Vince. Number 11. Last time I was there, their KFCs don't offer mashed potatoes or mac and cheese. Objectively, the best sides at KFC.
What do they offer? Beans and
this
toast?
One shocked me. This one shocked me to my core. Eli, do you have opinions on that?
Just that. No, no opinions on that. I was just astounded that you could leave such special sides off and even call
what
it
does
a
that
KFC.
what does that even leave? Like green beans? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, I know
wild,
it'll be beans, dude. It'll be beans on toast, and they'll be like, "Oh,
yeah.
This is a delicacy," and we'll just be, "Yeah, we're tourists. We'll eat it," and then we'll go home going, "What the hell are they eating in Britain, dude?"
All right. Well, KFC, that's on you. Whatever conglomerate owns KFC, you sold out. Number 12.
You did sell out.
Why are you making me learn the metric system? Just stop, dude. I'm not going to do it.
It's wrong.
I'm not going to use a system that makes more sense because that makes more work for me. And finally, number 13. You guys don't even offer refills.
Really?
What kind of oppression is this, dude? If you're British and you're watching this right now and you don't know what freedom is, come to America.
Come to America.
Where you can get 8 refills in a row of Mountain Dew in your big gulps, and no one's gonna stop you, dude.
I'll one up you, Dave.
No one's gonna even look at you funny. You can just be an unhealthy piece of crap, and no one cares, dude.
Because that is called freedom. And even if they don't give you refills, if you have access to the fountain drink, you could just go right up and get one yourself. What are they going to do? They're going to call the cops? You're going to call the cops on a guy who took an extra Dr. Pepper?
Get crazy. Order a water cup, which, by the way, is free in America.
Absolutely.
With ice.
With ice. Then you take the water cup, you take ice, and then you just go for the soda, dude.
Dude.
No one's going to stop you. Because you're not tipping them anyways, so they don't care. They don't make enough to care.
The true American move is bringing a cup from yesterday, dude.
If you're trying to watch your money, if you're trying to save, you're trying to save. It's expensive to live in America, right? And I'm hungry. I need to eat something. Go to Chick-fil-A. Get a bunch of sauces. You don't have to pay for them.
Oh,
you can
yeah,
just
dude.
eat them right off your finger like your name's Ron DeSantis, and you can run for president here. That's how
as
it
good
works.
as pudding, dude.
Ben Franklin didn't use a spoon for almost a whole entire year, and look where that got him, dude.
I will say that Chick-fil-A used to just have the sauces out there, dude, and it was free reign. It was like, get whatever sauce.
Oh,
and it was
yeah,
like
dude.
just barrels full. But they don't do that anymore. You have to go up and go, and you have to wait, and you have to
Please.
go, please, can I have like this one, and like, maybe a third one? And they're like, okay.
They never say no, though.
They never say
that's
no.
not true.
Never-
That's not true.
dude.
Well, that's true. But I went to a Chick-fil-A in Agora Hills, which is a nice Chick-fil-A, and I went
They
up
have
and said,
good ones out there, I heard.
Yeah. They're real. They're it's not a facade building. It's an actual brick and mortar, so it's cool. But you go up to them and you're like, I said, oh, can I get a couple more Polynesians? She goes, well, how many do you need? I said, can I get 6? And she goes, dude, it was the only Chick-fil-A I've ever been to where she went, why do you need 6? And I said, well, I'm probably gonna crack back 2 right here, and then I'm gonna take the other 4 home to make a nice little marinade.
That's
all
You
back
need to
years
fill out
ago.
this form on what you're using them for, because we've had people like you come in here,
That's when I walk out, dude.
and it's always the Polynesian.
I'm okay to live on the backside of an empire if that empire still has free sauces. Once they start charging for sauces, that's it.
That's the problem, dude. That's
it
when you know
split.
things are going downhill. And that reminds me of like the Taco Bells. I feel like are the worst at giving you the proper amount of sauces.
Oh, they'll give you a bag full
Because-
of sauces for one
dude,
burrito.
I'm either I go to one and they give me 3, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I just take the 3 and throw them back in their faces. It's no sauce is better than 3 sauce. Or they give me like 35, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, now I just feel bad that I'm gonna waste all the sauce. What am I supposed to do with this? So I keep it in my fridge for 6 months and then I throw it away later.
Dude, the Taco Bell at my house automatically assumes I can't handle hot sauce.
They're
So they
mild.
won't. I have to interject and
It's
request
those
it.
curls,
Yeah,
dude.
they're always like.
Because you're white or what?
Yeah, for sure. Because
Yeah,
I always.
maybe these are curls, dude.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, hey y'all, can I get a? And they're like, no way, this guy wants.
You're
Bro,
like
you-
twirling them.
yeah.
You're all,
Yeah.
Can I get a?
This guy, no way he wants Diablo sauce. And every time they're like, you want hot sauce? I'm like, yeah. But they throw mild in there, so I have to be like, give me the Diablo, dude. Don't shortchange me because I'm the
Right.
color of my skin.
Girl, put
Judge me
some
by the
mild-
content of my character and how well I'm able to handle spicy foods.
Girl, put some mild in there. He's gonna regret it.
But he's gonna want an option. See,
It's kind of nice of them to care about you that much, though. They're
It is.
thinking ahead at potential issues that you're gonna have, dude.
Well, and I'm not offended by having to do a little bit more work. If I have to remind them, no, dudes, it's me. By the way, Dave, you look like the most patriotic cholo I've ever seen right now. It's awesome.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, you should take that.
I don't know if I was going for that, but I'm stoked.
You look
look
like
a
a
young-
down patriot, dude. You're down.
You're down.
You're down,
You're
dude.
like a young Edward James Olmos.
I feel like I'm like Howard Stern or something, where I'm like, I got my shades on, and I'm just kind of chilling, like not acting like I don't care that much about what I'm saying because I'm too cool.
Yeah, and rich. Tell Vince to take his shirt off, and then you'd be Howard Stern.
Yeah. Yeah,
think I even get
or
that.
at least 20 years ago, Howard Stern.
Yeah, right. Was that the list?
That was it, dude.
Dude, I agree with all of those. That's 100%.
I agreed with 12 of those.
Oh, you're hung up on the Coke.
I'm hung up on the Coke. If I may, did you happen to check out a scotched egg? I think that's what it's called when you're out there.
Scotched egg. No.
Dude. So it's pretty good, but it is wild. But the British
What
Scotch,
is that? Is that
it is a pretty much a hard-boiled egg wrapped in beef and breadcrumbs and fried. And they just straight up eat those bitches, dude. and I've had one, and it was okay, but it was probably the weirdest combination of things I've ever had.
They do have an interesting relationship with eggs. Like they have the sort of like more soft-boiled eggs that then they have the little stands for them that you can put it on, and then they like spoon out the yolk of the egg.
Oh, really? Kind of like
know
ramen
that,
style?
but-
Yeah. I know that they do like a lot of
Yes.
pickled eggs and stuff too, yeah?
I don't know. I can't vouch for as far as pickled eggs, but
Okay.
you know.
I can't go for a warm beer. I don't understand it, dude. No thanks.
I think we can all agree on that.
That's my list.
I'm just thinking about how I'm going to title this clip. Eggs.
eggs.
that was a
Egg
whole.
talk.
We did a whole egg segment spontaneously.
Yeah, it was exciting.
I feel like we can still convince Vince.
Ah,
The yoke's
think-
on you, dude.
dude, I think
Maybe
that'd
that
be
could
an
be a segment in
excellent
the future.
segment.
Is convince.
Convince Vince?
I'll keep working on that.
Convince. We call it convince. and we try to con him.
Convince.
Yeah.
Either we play a long con on Vince. We try to con him, or
You
or
try
it's
to
like
con him.
pros and cons talking it out with Vince.
Mm.
It could be that too.
Pros
What
and
are
cons
Vince's
of
cons?
Pros and con Vince.
Or we have a con Vince, and it's just Vince going around to different penitentiaries trying to proselytize to convicts. That'd be dope. Be fun.
That would be dope, dude.
Well,
I'm in.
I was just about to say we haven't gotten any any comments in a while with that tangent.
It was the eggs. I'm sorry, guys.
The
But
eggs
Convince
really
brought
threw
him
it.
back.
Dane was out after the eggs, but Peachtree says, "Ooh, I like Con Vince. It's like Con Air."
Yeah.
Thanks, Peach. Peach has got
Well-
my back.
Peaches got my back. All right, is that the show?
And goodbye.
Hey, we got one follower on this week's 4th of July
yeah.
Did we?
show.
Do we know their name?
No, I don't
We gotta
think so.
start. We gotta do some shout outs.
We got to do some shout outs.
If you followed us and you're still in the chat, drop. Say it was me.
Yeah, if it was you, I see that we have 6 people currently in, so there has to be someone new. We're at 5
If
for
you
the whole show.
if we get a new subscriber, we should just tell them that they can give us whatever topic they want, and we have to dress like that for the next show.
Ooh.
I might regret that.
Let's see. We got Kim. We got Dane. We got Paige. Look at these hearts, dude.
There's so much love.
So much
Dude,
love.
Kim. Thanks, Kim.
What
Thanks,
a perfect
Kim.
way to end an American themed show.
Are you guys doing anything special for 4th of July? No. Nothing?
I don't know, man.
Some firework viewing? Some
Watch your
Disneyland?
fireworks, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm doing nothing. Paige works the whole time, and I'm playing Diablo the whole time, Dave.
I don't know how American that is, but
It's pretty American.
I feel like I should just at least light off a bunch of Piccolo Pete's in my
Dude.
neighborhood just to make sure I
Dave,
piss
did you-
everyone off.
Did you see what's in your hand in today's thumbnail?
Oh, is it a Piccolo Pete?
That's a Piccolo Pete, Dave, and it's in your
dude,
hand.
Yes.
I picked some of my favorites for this, dude.
I love that
Dude.
we're just in a block party, dude. We're the only ones. We're in a post-apocalyptic
Oh, yeah.
4th of July block party, man.
And if you see me up there, I'm about to jump because I'm done.
Weren't there were counties that banned Piccolo Pete's, right? Or was it
Oh.
states? Or what was it?
The smart ones.
The smart ones, dude. Did you know the Piccolo Pete
But see,
trick?
that makes me want to do it even more. If you make
Oh,
it
yeah.
illegal,
Right.
I'm gonna
True.
buy double the Piccolo Pete's. I'm
Dave,
gonna go
did you
even
know the
harder.
Piccolo Pete trick? Were you a terrible kid like me?
What's the Piccolo Pete trick?
Disclaimer: do not do this. I'm not advocating to do this.
I'm
not
cutting that
telling.
disclaimer out, so you might as well
Oh.
not even say it.
I'm telling every kid to do this. Where you pop off the stand of that Piccolo Pete, Dave. You grab a hammer and/or if you have a hard sole shoe, you stomp the bottom of that Piccolo Pete. You light it and you fucking run. Do you know what that does, Dave?
What does that do?
That makes a Piccolo Pete scream in whatever direction the flame is oppositely pointing.
So it's like it's highly directional.
And then since you stomp on the end, it blows up when you get to that stomp.
Oh, so it's like dynamite.
It's flying dynamite.
Dang.
And
dude,
as a 10-year-old, I would do that and just start running, dude.
I was gonna say I know exactly who you were as a 10-year-old kid, dude. Like
Dude.
you were that kid on the block that was like, just you never know what's gonna come out, dude. You're stealing Pokemon cards. You're lighting.
Dude, we
doing
were
cheats on Piccolo Pete's.
we were making straight up bombs out of 2-liter bottles and Piccolo Pete dust.
That's all. That's a good childhood right there.
It was a
dude.
good child, and I
That
have all my
pogs,
fingers.
Throw pogs in there. That's
Yeah.
a great childhood.
Vince told that story with a cadence of an old drunk guy at a bar that starts the conversation starts out
The seltzer
cordial,
is,
but like midway through his aggression, the way he's talking to you, like, is he gonna try to beat me up?
He's the brewery guy, dude.
Is he gonna fight me? No, the brewery
Oh,
guy's
when
a
I was
total beta
10.
male.
you realize
Brewery guy's
halfway
like,
through
I
I'm getting
have
closer.
a manicure in the morning. I need to get there.
He's
And then I'm going to Home Depot to buy supplies because I'm doing a bathroom remodel. That's brewery guy.
He's like, you ever do the Piccolo Pete cheat? Huh? You ever heard of that?
You know the Piccolo Pete
teach you.
hack. I'm gonna sneak a picture of my bar guy.
So I'll
and
touch my
show you.
pants and I'll help you.
Kimster Kiss says she's playing Phase 10.
Nice.
What's that?
Cool.
What is that?
Card game, I
like-
think.
It's like Uno.
Oh yeah, nice.
It's pretty American.
Yeah, I'll give props to that. Sweet.
Sweet guys. Well, it's fun celebrating America. I always feel like this show should be called "Celebrating All Nations, but Mostly America," which is a line that
That's
Sam
pretty
Eagle-
good.
Well, that's what Sam
Sam
Eagle
Eagle?
says in Muppet Vision
Oh,
3D.
Okay.
But Muppet Vision 3D doesn't really exist anymore, so maybe I will call it that.
There's no one there to stop us. Tater Dane says awesome card game, and we will be launching fireworks. Dude, awesome.
Oh.
You're doing it
Nice.
tonight? Oh,
Great
you're
show
saying
tonight. I
we
thought
had
the
a
same
great
thing.
show. Okay, sweet. I was like, what? You're going to a fireworks show? No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm still. I think there's going to be fireworks tomorrow though at the Pee Wee show, right?
Yeah.
I think they're dude Pee Wee and fireworks. That's a good night.
I hope
pretty
Paul
good,
Rubin
dude.
shows up, dude.
I went to the concert, an orchestral concert for the Gamer Awards last week at the Hollywood Bowl. It was pretty awesome. Tenacious D was there, and they did their video game song.
Dude, I saw your video.
And there was really cool stuff from like tons of games like Diablo, God of War, just tons of stuff. But then they had a surprise appearance of Jack Black performed at the end the Peach song for Mario. And it was pretty. Everyone lost it, dude. It was pretty awesome. Jack Black like gave everything to it. He ate shit off the platform he was on, and I'm pretty sure he like actually hurt himself.
Oh wow.
But yeah, it was awesome. And then they lit like amazing fireworks after that. So thanks for being here, guys, for hanging out with us.
Thanks, guys. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th, guys. Bye.
Skipping through the end times.